Hello, my fellow multidimensionals. It is Asia, founder of multidimensionalu.com. In this weekly vlog, I am coming to you from one of my favorite places on the planet. I know I say that a lot. I think I have a lot of them. Oh, a butterfly just flew by. It is Mount Borah, and I just came off of my Friday Facebook Live doing a guided meditation for the Facebook group, Meditations for Earth and Humanity. If you are not yet in that group, it's an open group. You just have to request to join it. I strongly invite you or recommend that you join us. 2 months ago, my higher guidance redirected me out of just talking about multidimensional theory and into practicum and doing multidimensional work in collaborations with some pretty amazing peers in there. So you can find that on Facebook, Meditations for Earth and Humanity. Okay, so message this week. Let me cue it up by just saying the work that we just did here today, which was putting in place massive multidimensional infrastructure. Just see if you can feel that mountain behind me, feel my field. This is what I have been called to do. This is my next level of mission. And there was frankly a part of me that thought, oh my gosh, how am I supposed to fit that into my schedule? I'm not really even sure what this all means. And I'm doing it anyway. We're actually traveling north for a friend's celebration of life service today here in Idaho. And Bora just called me and was pulling on me. I thought about maybe skipping this Friday Facebook Live, but my guidance said absolutely not. You will be making this stop here today. And after what we did here, I understand why. So I'm honoring that guidance just like I have for, the last, feels like 10 years now. The first part of that, not so willingly, lots of resistance. The second half of that period, I've gotten much better at just doing what I'm told and not doing what I don't need to be doing, right? So shedding lots of obligation, establishing better boundaries. I did not, like I like to say, I did not travel from the Andromedan galaxy all the way to Earth to not fulfill my soul contract. So, and the good news about that is it feels wonderful. Twist my arm to come here today and do this work, or to fly across the planet like I've been asked to do on various occasions. So I hope that I inspire you all by my example to now step into an ever more aligned and expansive version of your own work. And this message is quite salient and important. I can't tell you over the last couple weeks how many people I've heard from whose work has stalled out, how it's not working like it used to, how jobs are disappearing. And I know that I've spoken extensively about deconstruction, and it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to live through it. It can be very challenging. But this is where our self-mastery and, frankly, the Jedi spiritual warriorship is required. The mental discipline and focus to not go into negative programs, self-judgment, and self-victimization. You're needed more than ever. This is why you are getting pushed the way you are getting pushed. And this is all by design. Your higher self is bringing you these tests of initiation to strip away all the negative programming, all the fear, all the lack of faith that is still in your field, right? That the lower personality is still operating from. So as I've said many times before, the best way to go through this time is to surrender, to listen to your heart. If you're really honest, you know what you're supposed to be doing, but you're afraid of it. You're afraid of judgment, of failure, of ridicule, rejection, fill in the blank. We are in an accelerated phase of expansion and ascension. Those of us, the wayshowers who came onto the planet to provide this gentle, loving, kind, and sometimes kick in the pants, it's leadership and guiding for the human collective. Make no mistake, we are being asked to shed density and distortion like never before. So you have my empathy, but you also have my strong, fierce, loving, get to work, right? Should write a book. I'm not from this planet, or you're not from this planet. Get over it and get to work. That's kind of, if I were to sum up the phase we're in and the messages I've been delivering from Archangel Michael for people lately, that is the tenor of it. So please just know, I mean, I've been through this. I've been through deconstruction so many times. You cannot go back to the old because it no longer exists for you. The best thing you can do is listen to your heart and take massive leaps of faith over and over again, right? The whole point, they feel so intense is because you're burning through negative programs and distortion. That's the whole point, right? So you have so many allies and helpers. Please ask for help on a daily basis. I am going to send out a transmission right now via my multidimensional field. So everyone connecting to this video, it's now coming and wrapping around you. There you go. Okay, so you have my multidimensional support, which is connected to many, many different dimensions. And of course, if in the physical, if you would like, week to week, month to month direct support from me, please consider the emergence experience. I was just talking with my team yesterday. We will be changing the business model at Multidimensional You in the next 2 or 3 months. So this version of this program will be going away. Everything's beginning to change in order to be able to serve many, many more people. So if you've been on the fence about working with me in this way, probably best to take that leap of faith right now while it is still available. And I don't mean that from I think there's just so much scarcity consciousness. I don't mean to create fear around that. It's just, I do want to give folks a heads up. So if you were like, well, I'll get to that in September, October, just to give you fair warning, it probably in all likelihood will not exist in this form. Other opportunities will. So no undue pressure, just a very loving, strong invitation. As you know, I am a very strong advocate for the authentic self that is working to make its way out of the matrix of distortion and density. All right, with that, I'm going to sign off. I love you all very much. I'm sending you high frequency vibes from up here, Mount Borah, and all the beautiful multidimensional infrastructure we just put in place. And I will talk to you all next week.